We've just received reports that Justin, the long-haired, long-legged Mac Daddy Trudeau, his government has decided to revoke the citizenship of a former Nazi by the name of Helmut Oberlander. Which, okay, that's fine. The guy's a Nazi. The Nazis were bad, and I hate the Nazis. Yay and amen. But what is puzzling to me is that Justin, the Mac Daddy, long-haired, long-legged Mac Daddy Trudeau, said that we should not revoke the citizenship of terrorists. And when he says terrorists, he means Islamic terrorists. Make no mistake about this, Canada. If Helmut Oberlander was Mustafa or Mufasa bin Laden, he would never, ever get his citizenship taken away. If Helmut Oberlander's name was Muhammad and he had a turban on and he wasn't white, but he was, beige, like a Muslim, and he wasn't a Nazi, but a member of ISIS, Trudeau would not take away the man's citizenship. I promise you that. In fact, if the Nazis were not white, and if Helmut wasn't white, but if the Nazis weren't white, they were any other race other than white, black, Muslim, Chinese, Japanese, Native, if they were any other race other than white, Trudeau would probably say that, oh, this is their culture, this is what they believe in, and if the Europeans were not white, Trudeau would say, well, the culture of the Europeans was always to hate the Jew. And back in the old days, European society hated Jews. That's why it was so easy for Hitler to convince the German people that the Jews were beneath them and that they should be put in ghettos and all sorts of stuff. That was their culture back in the day. But they're white. So people like Trudeau would consider them to be barbaric and mean and nasty and racist. And they are. But if Europe was, let's say, Africa or the Middle East, and they had a tradition of hating Jews, Trudeau would I guarantee you, Trudeau would say, this is their culture, leave them alone, and if you offend them, you're being racist, you're being insensitive. That's what he said. You're being insensitive. You're being insensitive to their culture. This is what they do. Just like, look at what Muslim men do with women. If you go to the Saudi Arabia, women have to have their head covered. Only their two eyes are staring at you. Sometimes I walk across, even in Ashwa lately, I'm seeing these women, these Muslim women, their eyes are just going off. I walk sometimes when I go to Toronto and I see these Muslims and their eyes, and I'm like, man, I feel so sorry for them. Even little girls. One time, I'm not joking, I saw a little girl with her mom, and both of them had their faces covered like they were some kind of criminal or some kind of slave. If they were white, you would see all the liberals coming down on the Muslim religion if they were all white. If the majority of Islamic worshippers were white, everybody would come down on them. It's bad, it's sexist, it's whatever. It's the same thing with Helmut Oberlander. If Helmut Oberlander, who was a Nazi, was not white, but let's say he was Muslim or black or Chinese or any other race other than white, Trudeau would never take away that man's citizenship. And that's why I am here to tell you that liberals and socialists are the most racist people you've ever met in all your days. They are racist. I promise you all the possessions I have. I promise you every penny I have. If this man was a little darker, Trudeau would be licking the poop out of his asshole right now. And he would be telling people, don't, oh, it's his culture. A Canadian is a Canadian. Look at Omar Khadr. The man blew up a soldier. How bad can you be? How much worse can one person be? You blow up a soldier. How bad can you have to be to blow up a soldier? And the guy gets $10 million. I bet you if Helmut Oberlander was a little darker and he wasn't white with blue eyes, he not only wouldn't get his citizenship revoked, he'd probably get $10 million for his troubles because people would bully him and, oh, he's a Nazi and people are being mean to him. Trudeau would say, because this is how Trudeau is, well, let's give him $10 million. Because that's how Trudeau is. I almost think that Trudeau's like a drag queen. I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean, but I think that's what he is. So he's a drag queen or something. I don't know if he got a sex change or what. But anyway, I'm just here to say, and if he does, there's not a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. It's good. It's all good. Yay and amen. It's free country. But that's what would happen if Helmut was Mufasa. He would not get his citizenship revoked. Trudeau said very specifically that he would not take away the citizenship of terrorists, because that's what Harper was trying to do, and Trudeau said he wouldn't do it. But we got a white man who was a Nazi. Oh, it's a white man, so take away his citizenship. Liberals are racist. And another way liberals are racist, they're not just racist against white people, they're racist against blacks like me who choose not to be liberal and be on the liberal plantation, and who choose to be free-thinking, populist, conservative, free-thinking people, not like all the other blacks who, majority of blacks, not all, and most of them are in the United States. We don't have that problem in Canada where most blacks just go liberal and stuff, even though we don't do polls based on race. But anyway, they don't like people like me. Yeah, they hate me. And I've seen it on the comments board. There's a guy right now, his name is Matty, M-A-T-Y. He's always sending nasty comments, which I just erased because, it's a loser in his bed who is he's probably paid to follow my videos and to harass me. And I don't even take any notice to it. But anyway, Trudeau takes away the citizenship of a white Nazi because he's a Nazi, which I agree with. But he doesn't want to take away the citizenship of Islamic terrorists because they're Muslim and it's not nice and they're minorities. We have to be good to minorities no matter what they do. They can blow up soldiers. We have to be good to minorities. That's Trudeau's mindset.